What's going on, everybody? Obviously, it's King Solomon, as always. As you can see, I am wearing a Daredevil helmet right out the gate. I'm not playing Marvel Rivals, but what I will be doing is I will be ranking some good old Daredevil. We're continuing on making some tier lists and whatnot, and catching up on ranking all the things that I have been wanting to rank for the world to see. You know, put my opinions out there because everybody loves to do that. So. Obviously, of course, for this, I had to bring this down to display it. This is still my all-time favorite show ever. There are other shows that I like, obviously, but this has always, and I believe always will, take the cake. So there's that. I had to bring it down, you know what I'm saying? This is one of my most prized possessions. So that will be just chilling back here. So yes, this is Daredevil Projects ranked. This is what we're working with here. And I like how they did this instead of it being like the Daredevil show, Defenders, Echo, and Born Again. It's the seasons. So I'll also be able to rank the seasons independently of each other. I am gonna make some changes to what is shown here because I feel like that needs to happen. We'll do this one. We'll have this one be S+, this will be S, and this will be A, and then B, C, D, and then we'll make one more tier. We'll name this one Have Not Seen, because there is one that I have not seen. That makes sense, y'all? This might not take that long, I do know that, but I'll try to do a better job. I've been trying to do better at explaining things, because I know my first couple ones have been kind of like, they could have been explained better, I think. I use a lot of ums and fillers and stuff, so I'm trying to work on that, you know what I'm saying? All right, let's start out with season 1 of Daredevil. This season is the season that I have watched the most. And it's not because it's my favorite. I'll just put it out the way. It is an S+. Literally, this season is a flawless season. Yeah, absolutely flawless. And there's another one in here that is flawless, but I'll get to that later. Season 1, I've watched the most, and it's because I'm just in general really bad at sticking with a TV show. There have been several TV shows that I have started that I have not finished. Just to name a few of them, Breaking Bad, I've only seen the first season and then I stopped. Not because I didn't think it was good, but I just am bad at keeping up and continuing with watching shows. I've started Prison Break. Again, loved that show. I don't remember how much of it I watched, but I watched at least a decent chunk of it. Stopped watching it. I haven't continued. I've started The Office. I watched, I think, 4 to 5 seasons of that show, I think. Have not finished, and that one I don't really intend to finish. It's not my type of TV show, I guess. I'm not super into comedy shows. There's another one that was on my mind. The Walking Dead. I'm currently on season 3. I tried rewatching that show several times, and that's the thing. When I start a show and then it's been a long time, I just restart it because I'm not going to remember what happened. And I think that's what everyone should do, is just, if it's been too long since you've been watching the TV show, you should just restart. And this has happened with Daredevil. Not when I first watched it. When I first watched the show, I binged this season, and I binged season 2 and season 3. On rewatches, though, I would get through all of season 1. I'd get through roughly half of season 2, and then I would stop. And that's not to say that season 2 is bad, because season 2 is great. It's really, really good. But it's just something with me where I start a show, and then no matter how much I like it, I just somehow stop watching. But with that being said, that would make season 1 the season I've seen the most amount of times. And it's because I would start watching it again, I would stop, and then I'd restart. So I've seen season 1 probably 4 or 5 times, maybe more. And I can honestly tell you, after watching it that many times, season 1, it's flawless. Absolutely flawless. Season 1, there's just so much good in there. There's a lot of really good character work, you know, especially as they develop the different relationships in the show, like Matt and Foggy and Karen, the 3. They do a really great job at building those characters and those relationships. And on top of that, even with Fisk, they do a lot of really good character building with Fisk, and you get to learn what he's like, what his motives are, you know, how he thinks, what his view of the world is, what his view of his mission and what his life purpose is. It's very compelling, and this is a little off topic. I mean, it is on topic, but not in terms of rating the shows. But Vincent D'Onofrio's, I think that's how you pronounce it, portrayal and Fisk as a character he might be my favorite villain in the MCU. He might be. Thanos is up there for me. Green Goblin is up there for me. And Fisk for sure is up there. But yeah, season 1 just has a lot of really good stuff going for it. The suit as well, the black suit. And on top of that, I think season 1 of the 3 seasons of the original show stands out the most in terms of art direction. Like, all of them have really good art direction, and they're still very similar, but specifically season 1 has more of a noir art style and vibe to it. Like, it's much darker visually, that is. It just, for me, season 1 stands out the most of the other seasons that we're gonna go through here. Yeah, season 1 is absolutely goated. It is incredible. It's definitely, it deserves to be an S+. Season 2, now this is the reason why I change the ranking, because I definitely believe season 2 of the Netflix show, of the original show, is the weakest. That's not to say it's bad though, and I wouldn't even say it's as low as good or great. It is still absolutely incredible, but it's just, I don't think it's on the same tier as 1. So I think I'm gonna put it here for now. Again, there's a lot of really good stuff in season 2. Again, a lot of really good character work, you know, with Matt. Although Matt kind of acts like a butthole this, like a decent chunk of the season. Punisher's not in here for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's specifically Daredevil projects. Otherwise, I would rank it too, but Daredevil doesn't really make an appearance in the Punisher show, so Punisher unfortunately isn't in this list. But maybe I could, you know what I could do? Maybe after this one, I'll try to find a tier list that has like all the Marvel Netflix shows, and then I could rank them by season there. But I think if I were to rank Punisher somewhere, I'll do that after. There's a lot of really good stuff. Obviously, Punisher is the best part of season 2. He carries this season a lot. Every part with Punisher is absolutely incredible, but there's just a lot of other stuff that is really lacking. All the stuff with the hand is so cringe and so, like, it's not this. You know what I mean? How I like to explain it to people is, like, season 1 and season 3, they very much stand up very far apart and are very different from the rest of the MCU. Season 2, in a lot of ways, it's very stereotypical MCU in a lot of ways. It's very like the season finale is like, I felt like I was watching like a MCU movie, and I mean that in more of a negative way. Again, there's a lot of insanely good stuff in season 2. There's just more in season 2 that's weighing it down than season 1 and 3. Strictly because of and also another thing, I find Elektra in the Daredevil show extremely annoying. I know that might be a little bit of a hot take. I know some people really like Elektra in season 2. I thought she was so annoying. I did not like Elektra. I get what her purpose is in the show. It's to kind of get Matt to kind of, I guess, deal with some conflict in, you know, what he wants to do, but she's still just an absolute pain in the butt. Like, I cannot stand Elektra. There's parts where I like her. Like, genuinely, the reason why I had to keep restarting Daredevil was because I would get to the part with Elektra, I would watch for a bit, I'd get too annoyed, and then I'd stop watching because I just didn't want to watch through some of the stuff that was in this season. And again, that's not to say that season 2 is bad. It's still an S tier. It's just not an S+, but it's still a good season, and I still love it. I still love season 2 so much, specifically because of Punisher. Defenders. Where do I put Defenders? Maybe I'll put Defenders in B for now. I don't even remember much of Defenders. I guess that goes to show how mid this show it was. Like, again, there was some cool stuff, but I also, again, it was just a continuation of season 2, but like with the other Defenders characters. Yeah, I probably should mention, just be aware that there are going to be spoilers in this. I mean, I already kind of gave away some stuff. Just be aware that there are definitely going to be spoilers in this. But Defenders is literally just a continuation of season 2 with the hand crap. That's all that Defenders is about. Like, Defenders is purely about the worst parts of season 2 of Daredevil. Again, there was some some fun parts, like that hallway scene where it's, you know, the Defenders fighting together for the first time and they fight off all the guys in the white hallway. That was fun, but other than that, it was mid. It was very mid. I mean, we get to see as well the death of Elektra. And I will say the one benefit that comes with Defenders is that Defenders leads directly into season 3 of Daredevil. So it's got that going for it, but like the show itself is just like mid is generous. I kind of have to agree with that. Yeah, you know what? I'll keep it here for now. Wait, what? Hold on a sec. Why did this change? There we go. Now it's better. And the other thing is so obviously Daredevil was a super well-written character. I haven't seen Jessica Jones, but I heard that people really like Jessica Jones, and she was pretty well-written. Luke Cage, I liked season 1, and well, actually, I liked both seasons of Luke Cage, and he was pretty cool. But Iron Fist in his own show and in Defenders, I could not stand him. He's just a whiny like kid. I don't know, man. I thought Iron Fist was like really annoying. And this is another thing. This is not the fault of the actor. This is purely how it was written. He was just written like such a whiny boy. I didn't like him. And he, in my opinion, just brings down the whole show. That and Elektra. And the hand. And there is a crazy thing that happens in this one. Stick dies. That definitely carries some weight. But you know what? Yeah, I might put it in C. Defenders is meh. It's very meh. Like, it's very forgettable. Like, even I was struggling to remember what even happened in this show because it was so, like, meh. It's just, oh my goodness. So yeah, that's what I have to say about Defenders. It's going in C right now. Daredevil Season 3. This show, or this season, is the best season of anything Marvel. There is no Marvel show or season that even comes close to season 3 of Daredevil. This season is not only flawless, it like exceeds in everything that it does. It is perfection. I have not seen a season of TV that is as good as season 3 of Daredevil. Now granted, I know I haven't watched a lot of TV, but I mean even if I did, Daredevil is my favorite superhero of all time, so obviously I'm going to be a little biased, which is totally okay. This is my list. But season 3 is just an absolutely flawless masterpiece of a season of television. Peak television right here. Everything about it is just so good. I think Punisher 2 comes close, but not quite as good. Yeah, if we were rating Punisher shows, I think Punisher, for me personally, would sit around these two tiers. Both seasons, I think, are really good, and I think they go right around here. Everything about this season is incredible. Like Matt struggling with his faith. This is another thing that I need to say. I, of course, am a Christian, as in like not just like pretending. Like I live out my faith. I do my best to live out my faith, and I go to church. I accepted the Lord into my heart, and he has saved me from my sins. I am very much a Christian through and through. Because of that, the aspects of the show that deal directly with Matt's faith, I love so much. And season 3, that's like basically the entire season is him wrestling with his faith, and they do it so well too. They do it insanely well. The people that worked on Daredevil really truly loved and cared about the character and the comics. And that's another thing I gotta say about season 3. I watched season 3, a while ago, and I rewatched it before I saw Born Again, which we'll get to that later. And then I read Frank Miller's Born Again comic, and I realized season 3 has a lot of stuff from like the Born Again comic by Frank Miller. Like, it's actually insane how much stuff they pull from Born Again, like the comic Born Again, and put it into Daredevil season 3. It's actually insane, and I love it. Flashbacks to Max struggling with his faith as a kid and wrestling with God because of his new disability, and Matt in the present wrestling with God because of the limitations of his body. It's too good. And I gotta stress, I love how much this season centers on Matt wrestling with his faith, because every single Christian, I mean, you may not be Christian watching this, but as a Christian, there is gonna be a period where if you are a Christian, you're gonna probably struggle with your faith a little bit. That's just how it is. So seeing this, I really related to it a lot. And on top of that, it's just really good writing. Like they do Fisk and his whole like how he plotted to like get out of prison, and he had like his hands on everything the whole time, and he was in control the whole time. Just terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Terrifying in a much different way than like most MC. Like Thanos is a terrifying villain, but that's because he's like super strong. He has cosmic stones. Like he's powerful in a very like super powered way. But like Fisk, that's a different type of power. Like he's powerful in a status way. He has in a connections way. Fisk is a puppet master. And this season, more than season 1 in my opinion, really shows that really well, to the point where, yeah, it is to a point where you're like, is Fisk gonna lose at the end of the season? I don't know. I mean, is Daredevil gonna win? I actually don't know. It's genuinely like a thrill of a ride, season 3. Also, Karen, one of my favorite parts of the season is when Karen like stands up to Fisk in his own place. Yeah, a lot of the characters in this season have their time to shine bright. I could go on and on about this season. It is just perfect in every way. And also, I mean, I didn't even mention Bullseye yet. I didn't even mention Dex. Dex is great. Incredible villain. He's crazy. He is an absolute sociopath. They did Bullseye so well too. And Nadeem, Agent Nadeem, literally one of the best characters in the entire show. And that's not even a joke. He's literally one of the best characters in the whole show. He's written so well, and it gave you a different perspective of what it's like to be under Fisk and under his control. Such a unique perspective and a different perspective on how things worked in the show and in that position. Season 3 will always be the best season of Daredevil, in my honest opinion. I'm gonna stop there, otherwise I'll keep going, but yeah, season 3 is the best season, the best Daredevil thing ever. When I said there's no season that comes close, I guess season 1 comes close to season 3. And I will say I did like Punisher. Both seasons I liked of the Punisher. They would be maybe like right around here somewhere. Yeah, season 3 is the best. And it's not even up for debate. Season 3 is the best. Season 3 of the Daredevil is the best, and if you deny it, you're just wrong. Straight up wrong. That's just how, I don't make the rules. That's just how it is. Echo. I've only seen like I think 1 or 2 episodes, and it was just the episode where Daredevil was in, so I don't really have a lot to say on it. I heard it was pretty meh as well. Again, I don't have much to say on it. Daredevil's appearance was really cool, but other than that, I don't really got much to say. All right, now we get to a very hot topic. Daredevil, Born Again. Oh, She-Hulk isn't in here. She-Hulk I also haven't seen, but I would probably I'd probably make an F tier for that. Even though I haven't seen it, I know I'd put it in an F tier. Daredevil Born Again. This is a hot topic. This is the most recent Daredevil show, a restarting of Daredevil, specifically to put him in the MCU. So for those who haven't seen it, who are maybe somewhat curious about it, Born Again is, in my opinion, kind of tricky, because there are definitely some really good stuff in Born Again. Like, there's some really good episodes and really good scenes in Born Again, but if I'm gonna rate the whole season as a whole, as a whole collective, I'd probably put it right here. If I'm gonna be honest, it's like right here as a whole show, as a whole season. I think there was there was objectively major problems with this show. They had to switch writers midway through, and it very much shows, because it is a jumbled mess. It is a very messy show. It doesn't matter what the new writer's vision was and how they tried to fix it. That does not matter. What matters is how it all fits together as a show, as a season. And as a whole, it's not that great. It really isn't. They do a lot of stuff wrong. And one of the things they did wrong, which is, again, one of the major reasons why I loved the original show, they maybe once bring up Matt's faith. Maybe once or twice through the whole show. That, in my opinion, is a crime against the character. Are you joking? In the comics, this was one of the most defining factors of the character. The defining factors of Daredevil was he wears a red suit, he is a lawyer, he's blind, and he's a Catholic. That was what defined Matt Murdock. That's what defined Daredevil. And the fact that it is like maybe like hinted at, basically, that he's a Catholic in this show, and it's barely even brought up at all, is just criminal. Terrible. You just basically don't mention like one of the one of the most important factors of Daredevil as a character. On top of that, there was a lot of, I felt like Fisk was very mischaracterized. Like there was a lot of weird ways they did Fisk in this show. Like in the original show, I don't even remember Fisk ever like laughing, which is a weird thing to talk about. But in this show, Fisk was like several times like laughing, like ha 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 ha. He's never done that type of thing here. I don't think he ever laughed like that in the original show. He never did such thing. But in this show, he was like a cartoony villain guy in this show. I mean, yeah, he still was very much like a puppet master. Like he still had like control over a lot of stuff, but it just was not the same. It really wasn't. I will, while I'm here, mention the first episode was pretty good. It was decent. Major spoiler. So if you don't want spoilers for this, cover your ears or mute me for a second. Foggy does die at the beginning, which I wasn't sure how I felt about it. I was going to go into it saying, okay, they killed off one of the most important characters from the first show. I don't know whether to commend this or whether to say this is really not good. But I said, okay, I'm going to hold off judgment right now. I'm just going to keep watching, see how it goes. After that first episode, it was just not good. There was a lot of messiness again. There was like maybe one good scene in those first, few episodes, which was the conversation Matt has with the Punisher, like a little therapy session. Oh yeah, the bank episode was kind of cool. I know a lot of people gave that one praise, but I was like, I don't know. I mean, it was all right. I didn't think it was like amazing or anything, and the fight scene with Muse was good. The first fight scene they had was good. That was a very fun fight scene. And the last, I think, 2 episodes were good. Like the last 2 episodes I actually enjoyed watching. And you know why it was great watching? Because that's when the new writers came in. That's when the new writers came in and took over and said, you know what? We got to try to salvage this. And I also wrote the first episode too. But the new writers came in and be like, oh, we need to get to work. We need to carry right now. And it shows because the first episode and the last 2 were great. They were pretty good. I don't think they were the level of any episode from these shows or these seasons, but they were at least decent. They were at least enjoyable. This is one thing I will never understand. When people try to say that something is good, what a lot of people do that I've seen where they try to argue that something is like for example, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I've been seeing more and more people say that Amazing Spider-Man 2 is an incredible movie and it's really great. Every time that they try to argue that point, they always bring up like 1 or 2 scenes from the movie. And they may be great scenes, but a couple great scenes here and there does not make the entire movie a good movie. It just makes those scenes good. To say that a movie or a show is good based off like a couple scenes or maybe like an episode or 2, that's not the whole show. You got to take into account everything in the show and in the movie to say that it's good or bad. I will never understand that. If you're going to say that something is good or that something is bad, you need to like look at everything as a whole and say, okay, how much of this is actually good? How much of this is actually bad? And then go from there. I mean, you can say, I mean, even I will admit the web swinging scene, the opening scene, or not, well, it's not the opening scene, but like the opening web swinging scene in Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a great scene. I love that scene. I think it's amazing. I think the web swinging looks incredible. And the suit, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, amazing. I think it might be my favorite live action suit, or at least it's one of my favorites. I am very partial to the Tobey Maguire suit. But yeah, I love that scene in Amazing Spider-Man 2. But I'm not going to say then that the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is really good just because of like one scene that I like from it. That's not how that works. I never understand that. I will never get that. So anyways, that's my rant. But and I will say the same thing applies to Born Again. There's a couple good scenes. There's maybe a handful, a couple good episodes, but the rest of the show is just not there. It's very messy and a jumbled up mess of a first season. Now I've heard and I guess it's confirmed that the second season that they're going to come out with will have the same writers that they brought on that did a much better job with the show. So I am happy to hear that, but what still makes me concerned is that even still there was barely any mentionings of, again, one of the most important aspects of Daredevil, which is his faith, his Catholic faith. You know, if you're watching this and you're like, I'm not Catholic, I don't care. What matters most when you're interpreting a character is getting everything about that character, or at least as much as you can about that character and putting it into that character. They did an amazing job at doing it in this show, and they kind of dropped the ball, at least with the Catholic side of him in this show, majorly. They need to get their act together, and I hope that's what happens with season 2. I really, really hope. I'm hoping at the very least I can put season 2 like here. That's what I'm hoping. Season 2 here or here would be incredible. Here would be like, I would be shocked, but I at least want it here. Like, this is perfection, incredible, great, good, okay, not good. I want it to at least be here where it's good, but as of right now, the season we have, I can't put it there. I would actually maybe do this. That's my ranking here. Season 3, actually the whole first show obviously it's still my favorite show of all time. So obviously I'm gonna rate these high, but season 3, the best season, and in my opinion, the best season of television I've seen. Season 1, not too far behind that. Season 2, while it is not as good as these two, it's still an amazing season of television. We skip down to Okay, which is Defenders, and then yeah, Echo I have not seen. That is my ranking of the Daredevil projects, I guess is what it says. Although this doesn't include all of the Daredevil projects, like the Ben Affleck Daredevil isn't here, and if it was here, I'd put it right here. The Ben Affleck Daredevil movie is pretty poo-poo. It was pretty terrible. So I'd probably put it right here. So that's my ranking of this tier list. Where's Spider-Man No Way Home? Well, that's what's weird is, like, they include, like, some Daredevil projects with Charlie Cox, but they don't include all of them. I mean, I guess they're more so saying, well, I was gonna say maybe it's like they try to include projects that he was like a major player in, but he wasn't even a major player in Echo, at least from what I know. I think it was only in one episode, so I don't know why this is even here. Yeah, I guess No Way Home would maybe be like here or here, good or great. So yeah, that's my ranking, I think. Where would chat, how does this ranking look to you, chat? Let me know how you're ranking Punisher. Oh yeah. All right, let's do this lightning speed. Put season 1 here. Season 2 is here. Season 3 is here. Okay. Iron Fist. Iron Fist season 1 is like here. I haven't even seen season 2. I haven't seen any of the Jessica Jones stuff. Luke Cage, I'd probably put here, maybe. Season 2, maybe the same place. Defenders is right there. Put Iron Fist lower. Punisher. Now we're getting to the actual stuff here. Punisher season 1. I'd maybe put it right there. In season 2, they'd be around the same spot. I feel like the thing is I need to watch Punisher again because I only really watched it once. So maybe I need to just rewatch Punisher, but I feel like Punisher would go like right here. Maybe this order, maybe better. Yeah, because season 2 was when he was protecting that girl, right? And then what didn't even happen in season 1? Season 1 was when he was trying to figure out all of the... He was trying to figure out what happened to him, right? Is that what's going on? Is Punisher good? Should I watch it? Yes. Definitely watch Punisher. If you like Daredevil, you'll love Punisher. Punisher is insanely good. You've heard mixed reviews? That's actually surprising. No, Punisher's really good. Yeah. So yeah, he's going after the people who killed his family. That's right. I don't know. I thought season 1 was pretty good. I really liked it. I think... The thing is I feel like for Punisher, these two need to be like next to each other. I can't see Punisher season 2 being up here and not be with season 1. So I feel like as for right now, just because I specifically have to watch it again, I'm gonna put them here for now. They almost kind of blur together in a way. And like, I feel like and I think it's because I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember that both seasons were really great. With that being said, I know that both seasons were really great, and I don't really remember which one I like more than the other. So as of right now, they're just gonna stay next to each other right now. My reasoning, yes, is essentially I just can't remember. Again, it's not that I can't remember. I remember that they're really good, that they're great. I remember loving the Punisher show. I just need to rewatch it to like properly actually rank where these two seasons go individually. But the whole show right now goes in A. And I do think I remember season 2 maybe was a little bit better. I remember a lot of really good stuff in season 1. This is where I would put it for now. All right, well, that is my rankings. Hope you all enjoyed. I know that there will most definitely be people that disagree with me on my opinions on this. If you're watching this later on YouTube, Please let me know what your opinions are on these in the comments. I'm sure even if I didn't say that, I would still hear about it from a lot of people. So yeah, just go ahead and let me know what your thoughts are. Please follow me on Twitch, and if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube as well. We are getting close to 200 subscribers on YouTube, so please help me get there. And we're getting close to 170. We're at 162 on Twitch, so let's get to 170 and then also not stop there. Let's just keep going. Let's keep going to Twitch and the YouTube. Also, follow me on TikTok. I've been uploading TikToks every day on TikTok, so make sure you go and follow me on TikTok as well, and on Instagram as well. I'm also putting stuff up on Instagram, so make sure you follow me on Instagram. All of my handles are King Solomon Live, so make sure you check those out. I also have a Discord server. Make sure you join that. I'm gonna bounce, and have a good night, y'all. Peace out.